everybody to another Hyperight Data Talks. Today we are here with Dr. Ather Gattami. Ather is a leading Swedish AI expert and AI researcher at Bitynamics. So welcome, Ather. It's our pleasure to have you with us today. How are you?
Thank you, Jana, for the introduction. I'm feeling great. I'm very happy to be part of your event.
I'm glad to hear that. Now, to start with, I would actually want to hear more about you and what is your current working focus at the moment.
Sure. So I'm the founder of two companies, Bitynamics and Organize. At Organize, we have built a digital assistant powered by LLMs, of course, and this piece of software serves as your digital assistant or secretary. So for now, we're starting off by facilitate the bookings of events and meetings, basically as a secretary. So that's what we do to Organize, and our vision is that it will be your personal assistant doing everything. And at Bitynamics, where I'm also a founder and a researcher, we work with cutting-edge AI technology that we develop. We develop our own algorithms, but also we work with companies and enterprises, organizations in their AI journey. From working with the board of directors to management, with product people, architecture, and the algorithms themselves. So we have seen the entire chain and understand, what it takes to build an AI-driven product.
That's great. That's a great introduction. Now, today, I would like us to kick off this discussion by delving a little bit into LLMs, large language models. We all know that these powerful AI systems are capable of understanding and generating human-like text, and also have the potential to revolutionize various fields within their applications. But from your perspective, how can we ensure they are implemented with strong privacy measures in order to protect user data?
Yeah, so that's, I think, today is the biggest challenge for even big enterprises to implement the LLMs. I mean, of course, we know that there are a few providers today, all from like big tech companies to smaller companies. The problem is that to buy such a solution that relies fully on trust, and I don't think that trust per se is good enough. So what are the alternatives? There are two alternatives today. If you still want to buy a third part provider, then you could possibly do some kind of data transformation encoding to basically try to hide the data. So when you upload it to the cloud, it doesn't get detected, the privacy of the data. But that's still, I would say, on a theoretical level, there is no non-practical way today that can handle that, especially when it comes to text data. I mean, how can you encode information regarding, for instance, text or images, where you still understand the context within the abstract encoded object? So that's still a hard thing to do. So that's free in theory. So that leaves working on premises as the only viable practice today. And the way I see it is that it's definitely possible because we have more and more available open source large language models that are good enough, I would say, because when you want to deploy an LLM on premises, that's typically for your companies or organizations purposes, and you don't need to know the entire internet. You don't need all the information there. What you need is a language model that truly can handle the language for your customer, so that also country dependent, so it doesn't mean that English would be enough. And secondly, you need to make sure that you don't have other issues like hallucinations in the LLM that you're deploying. And I think this could get you pretty far.
And I think that you would agree that LLMs are widely used in customer service also. But what are some exciting applications of these models beyond, let's say, chatbots?
Absolutely. So I would say with the LLMs, chatbots made a comeback, because I remember like with the first AI wave around 2016, there were some attempts of building chatbots for customer services, and we tried them, and basically people didn't like to use it because you didn't get anywhere. And I would say most of these projects were kind of a failure. But now it was very obvious for every company that has some kind of automated customer service for a chatbot, this was a perfect application. I would say that probably works fairly well, although there are still issues when it comes to handling the organizations or companies' own data. Now, beyond that, the way I view LLMs, and that was probably even before they became popular and we saw this advantage. So when we started Organize, that should give you an example. The first idea grew in 2019. So that was 3-4 years before OpenAI's ChatGPT. And at the time, language models were not that mature. But we realized, at least I realized, that LLMs are great human-computer interface. So for human-computer interaction, that would be the way to go. Right now, it's a lot through basically by chatting with the chatbot. But I think in the future, when we have even better speech processing software, the communication will be simply by speaking to the different chatbots, just like what Siri was originally meant, to solve, and also later Alexa, Google Home, etc. But I think this will be accelerated. We are still not there, but I think we're getting very close. And basically, I would say you can look around and look all kind of products, whether it's consumer-facing products, by reinventing the way the user interface and user experience is made on existing products today. I'm not saying that this only meant for already existing companies like incumbents, but even if a startup would like to reinvent a certain app, say, with LLMs, you will get much more superior user interface and user experience that makes it way much easier. I mean, all from, finding different settings. You install an app, you don't know what you can do, what you cannot do. You typically need to ask a lot of people, Google, etc. But imagine if all this was extremely easy, but you chat with the app itself. Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? And you understand what can be done, what can not be done. If there's a setting that you can do, it just does it for you. You don't need to, know beforehand where you should go or not go. So I definitely think that we will see a wave of products reinvented, just with the wave of internet, where everything basically went from physical to electronic. We will probably see a similar way where the products would look different. So absolutely, beyond customer service, I think LLMs, even there are some researchers who go one step further and say that actually the whole concept of a computer will be reinvented, the operating system will be reinvented. And you can imagine that, okay, so if our devices will be reinvented, of course, all the apps that we're using today will be reinvented automatically.
Yes, there is plenty of room for advancements, and we may not even be ready for them. And to dive into this topic a little bit more, we all know that RAG is a hot topic these days within the AI community. So how can retrieval-augmented generation and also fine-tuning on-premise be used to customize these models for some specific needs and also to improve their performance?
That's an excellent observation. I would say that RAG is probably one of the most promising use cases of LLMs outside of the chatbot platform, meaning outside of platforms such as OpenAI and the like, where you basically chat with the chatbot directly. RAG is an extremely powerful tool where you actually can fuse the external large language model that you use with your own data, sharing as little as possible. But really, if you want to get the full power, you should have it on premises. Again, there are open source models that you can use. You have your own data that you would like to preserve. The important thing is that the large language model doesn't need to understand everything on the internet, but you should really make sure that it understands the concepts and the context in your data. And for your documents, you would be able to build your own AI that really helps you to understand and manage a lot of internal documentation, information, and processes. And to do so, it's actually not that hard technically. Of course, you need to understand all the technology behind it, but this could be extremely, extremely powerful. Now, fine-tuning is a little bit more demanding. You really need to be able to handle larger models. There's some infrastructure that you need to be able to set. Probably you need to purchase your own GPUs to have it on premises to train. Basically, what you do with fine-tuning is really continue training on your data. That's why it's called fine-tuning. And it requires more hardware knowledge, distributed computing, because you need to perform these distributed computations on the different GPUs, to more knowledge about these large language models, how you train them per se, and it's a mix of different algorithms you need to know. So that's definitely more demanding, but it's really an extremely important way to make sure that the LLMs are fit to your data, because if you remember what I said before, you need to make sure that the LLMs understand the language, the concepts, and the context within your data. Maybe they do not. So what do you need to do? You need to fine tune it. So you make it, adjusting to that data. So, and making it on premises, I mean, besides being able to have the control on all of that. So again, if you need to fine tune, it's necessary that you do it yourself, because just using third-party solutions will not help you, because they don't fine tune based on your data. And the extra advantage that you would get is that you would get faster inference. So basically get faster responses instead of waiting for the third party to deliver the answers to your queries. You could possibly do it much, much faster. And this is extremely important for real-time applications in your products. And of course, definitely it's much better for privacy purposes.
And I'm also curious to, in your opinion, what are, let's say, the biggest hurdles when it comes to the wider adoption of these models, and how can organizations and both individuals um, address them to fully benefit from these models?
Yeah, I think we touched already on them, but let's reinforce this thought. So first of all, hallucinations. There are many organizations and companies, they cannot afford, having systems that make, very serious error or give, very serious responses. And it doesn't really need to be like in healthcare, but it could be actually in financial systems where it's not really tolerable, banks. It could be in, jurisdictional organizations, etc. But even even like in insurance, you cannot just deny people of insurance because of hallucinations. So this is definitely a challenge, making sure that you get the right output from these LLMs. And again, it depends on the application. If you're working with an application that is not sensitive for such errors, then you're fine. But more serious applications definitely prohibit a lot of organizations from adopting LLMs. There is also this issue of privacy, as you mentioned, which is, I think, one of also the biggest challenges, even if you're not sensitive for hallucinations, you're sensitive of providing your own data as an input to third party. And the cost of fine-tuning, could be rather big. So you really need to do the math, work out the return on investment to see if this is really worthwhile doing. And finally, the cost of inference. Even if you would have everything in place, running these LLMs could be expensive. I would say it's probably less expensive on premises, but more expensive when you are connected to a third-party chatbot. And I have also seen quite many companies that don't take this leap because they see that the cost will be quite high pretty quickly. And of course, you don't have control over the cost over the long term because it's still new. You don't know what the price adjustments would be in the future, and if it would cost you even more. So yeah, I would say these are the three challenges: hallucinations, the cost of privacy preserving solutions, and the cost of inference.
I'm sure that many would agree with this answer. And last but not least, I would say that LLMs can be powerful tools and are indeed powerful tools. But are these limitations to using retrieval-augmented generation for tasks that require original unseen data? Are there any limitations in regards to this?
I mean, of course, and that really depends on your applications. I mean, for instance, for information extraction, it shouldn't be an issue as long as the concept and the context of your data has been seen by the LLM. So there are similar data. It's not exact data. It hasn't seen your data, but at least it understands the concept and understands the context of the different concepts. If not, if it's something, totally new, it hasn't seen that much data, then you might have run in trouble because LLMs are not that advanced today to make real generalization and real reasoning. So it cannot just, to generalize concepts and generalize context. It must have seen something similar. So unless there is some substantial research progress, that happens within the AI community, this will still be a hurdle, I would say. So unseen data, it depends on whether it's totally unseen concepts, you need to teach it the concept, or whether it has seen it before.
Thank you, Ather, for sharing your insights on this topic. I'm certain that your expertise provides value to everybody listening to this interview. And furthermore, I would like to say that Ather is one of the keynote speakers at the Data Innovation Summit MEA, which is happening in less than a month in Dubai. So don't miss out on his keynote presentation, which is titled The Future of AI-Enabled Experiences. And thank you, Ather, once again. And we look forward to hearing even more insights from you. So thank you.
Thank you, Anna, and see you in Dubai.